I was like, he's a bat. He's a bat.
I'm
He's not butterfly man. He's a Batman. He's a bird man. It was like, you ever seen a
I
bat
mean,
flying around during the day? Doesn't make sense.
what's up, fam? It's your boys, the Three Tokens. I guess minus one today. You got Troy and myself coming at you with some entertainment, some
What's up,
amusement,
sir?
very little cash value. Pretty
You
much
called me
today.
Troy, but that's
Did I
cool.
call you Troy?
You called me Troy.
Oh,
We're good. We just keep going.
so sad.
Rip
So
Troy.
sad.
He didn't die.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah.
But
He's here in
no,
this can of grape soda.
can't agree. I feel like that is the national drink of all young black men.
I would
Is
say
grape soda.
that, except it's Sprite.
Is it though?
Sprite is the black soda.
No, it's grape soda. It's the black
No.
soda.
Look at the commercials for Sprite. You got Drake,
Well,
you got Kobe, you
that's
got LeBron, you got random rappers. Like a
that
Sprite
they're
commercial is like a guy mixing on a soundboard in a makeshift studio in his room.
they.
A Pepsi commercial is like two people at the beach.
I mean, they are definitely marketing to a certain demographic, but I just think that's just because I just think
They
that Grape
know.
Fanta doesn't have a commercial. I
This is
remember. Do
Crush.
you?
This is Crush. They don't
I
have a
know. I'm just
commercial.
saying, like they don't have commercials. But if I don't know if you remember, like back in the day, like I want to
Fanta?
say it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Fanta came out like a commercial, and they had
Mm-hmm.
girls as the
Mm-hmm.
colors, as the flavors. The black girl was the grape soda.
Yeah, that's fair. Like we drink grape soda more than anybody. But Sprite, they know. Also,
they
like if you're gonna make like a if you're gonna make like lean or something, like you're not grabbing grape soda.
they are.
You're grabbing Sprite.
They're grabbing grape soda.
Yeah, they're grabbing Sprite.
They're
Use
grabbing grape
Sprite
soda.
and grape
What Lil Wayne
cough
rapped
medicine.
about this
No, it's
continuously.
grape cough syrup and Sprite
Still grape. Okay.
with Jolly Ranchers.
We shouldn't be teaching kids how to make this though. So don't do
I
this at
didn't
home
give
for
them the
sure.
measurements, you know. If
Which is
if
worse. They're just gonna go home and start experimenting.
look, if you have the cough syrup and the Sprite and the Jolly Ranchers, like worst case scenario, you're on lockdown at home right now anyway, so your parents will find you. Just you'll be all right. Just yeah, you'll be fine.
No. But
That's
I
the
mean,
cure to
even
coronavirus.
was it even Lil Nas X was rapping about it too. So
It's true.
I feel like that's the black drink more than
What if
more than
what if
Sprite.
we found out lean knocked out the coronavirus? Like if you got it and you had a full cup of lean, you were good.
I don't think they would market that at all. There's no way. No way.
Somebody would brand it. That's what would happen.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm pretty sure it's healthier than injecting yourself with
With bleach?
Lysol and bleach.
Uh, that
I mean,
man,
if those are your choice, like, but what if that's low key the genius of it? Like, what if that was the cure, but like he wasn't
dude.
supposed to say anything,
Yeah, like he knew.
right? But then
That's why
everyone,
they released the footage of the aliens because they were trying to throw us off.
but they discounted it. No,
They were trying to
but
throw
now
us
you
off,
talk.
so they were like aliens are real.
No, we talk about aliens being real, which came out of nowhere. But I think if we're talking about aliens, Elon Musk has to be an alien.
Yeah,
Like if you think about the technology that he has, that he brings out, that makes no sense. The ideas that he has, the fact that he walks around like a robot, and the fact that his son's name is Kyle, spelled like a math equation that I will never be able to solve, makes no sense to me.
like if he's an alien, like I'm on board. Like whatever, I'm cool with it. But like he's the guy that if like okay, let's say we find out he's an alien, obviously they're coming after him. I don't know why, but they would. So
But
they
he's too
figure
big now.
No, like I'm saying, they bust in his door. You know he's gonna jump in like a random Tesla. He's gonna jump in a car, hit a button, and it's gonna turn into the Iron Man suit, and he's gonna fly off. And we're gonna be like, "Oh no, he was ready." And then what? Then what do we do?
I don't know.
Alien Iron Man confirmed right now? I wouldn't be prepared for that.
He's one accident away from that happening. Like if you think about like the whole plot of Iron Man and Tony Stark, like I know he doesn't sell weapons, but like he's a tech genius yet.
No, he gave away flamethrowers. What are you talking about? He gave them away. Actually, they were $500, but you know.
So now, so he's a weapons manufacturer because of the flamethrower. He has all of this crazy technology. We don't really know a lot about him besides the crazy antics that he does in public every now and again. But then outside of that, he's kind of like more of a, like, you don't know what technology he's working on, but you know of his like personality traits. Straight up,
so
Tony Stark.
Here's the question: is he Tony Stark or is he Norman Osborn from Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire? Because they're the same guy, but one's a villain.
I don't see Elon Musk being a villain though.
You say that, but like Norman Osborn is respected in the community. Like he's, a businessman. Like he does a good job. But he's also crazy and flying around on a hang glider shooting missiles. So like I don't know which world.
I guess the question is which one would we want?
In 2020, with our luck, we're getting Goblin. we're not getting Iron Man.
Is there not enough skyscrapers in California? That's why he's trying to move to Texas, like move to Austin, Texas, or Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm. He's
put his headquarters there,
so he can fly off of the top building. I mean, like realistically, if he just flew out of his mansion one day on some crazy Tesla flying device, he just like flew out, would anybody question it?
Nah. I mean, like all the technology is there for the making. Like he has the energy to do it, like an energy source, or he's figured out how to manipulate the lithium ion batteries to last long and produce a lot of power.
Well, like he has the batteries, he's way ahead. He's got like full autonomous driving technology at his fingertips, and he owns a rocket company.
Yeah, I was like, he owns a rocket company.
SpaceX. He puts satellites in space just for fun.
And jetpacks are already a thing.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, you see on the news tomorrow at lunch, like, hey, we're not sure what we're reporting, but Elon Musk is flying around LA on a glider. We can't tell what he's demanding, but he's flying around. He may be armed. I'd be like, oh God, it's happening.
See, but like my issue is I would want a Spider-Man though.
No, we're not that lucky. This is 2020. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
We get 2020 is the year we get all the villains. No heroes.
Yeah, we get all the that's what the murder hornets are. The first person that gets stung by one will get hornet powers. And he'll have to fight Ash Archangel Musk flying around on the glider, and it'll be based in Texas instead of New York.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie though, when you say it like that, it is the makings, because like the murder hornets are from Japan.
Yeah, dude, the pieces are all there now. Like his name is Ash Archangel. That's a villain. That is straight up a villain, man.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
if he was in a movie, you'd be like, "Oh, there's the bad guy."
But then, like, he wouldn't be a good bad guy though,
because he's a baby, or Elon.
Elon wouldn't be a good bad guy.
No, but I'm saying like Elon, something happens to him. There's an experiment. His son.
Yeah.
Something happens to his son. He grows up bullied because his name was weird. And then fast forward 20 years, man is bombing cities with a glider, and they're electric bombs, so we don't know how to stop them. Like, They're like, throw gas at it. Like, it doesn't need gas. He's too good. It's all solar energy. We can't stop him.
Cloud the sky.
Yeah, you got to make it cloudy. That's the way you beat him. You control the weather.
So I guess if we're gonna thicken this plot, Elon Musk can be the bad guys. Would that make Bill Gates the villain or the good guy, the hero?
No, I feel like Bill Gates would be the guy who like secretly funded the good guy.
Yeah. So like, he would be the one that's out there. Like, is that why he's handed out all those scholarships? All
Yeah,
those kids because
he's trying to
he's trying
find
to find
the
the
kid
pure of heart.
the kid who can fight off the evil Musk family. Like he's seen this coming. Bill Gates is actually like a time traveler. He's known.
That I mean, it would make sense. He did call. He didn't call Corona itself, but he did call a virus coming out ahead of time.
Yeah.
He stopped being the CEO of his company so he can do some more philanthropy. I can't even say the word. Then he got good with all the senators. So I guess he is in a point to where, like, if he did have a hero that he's developing or working on, he could cover all the tracks. So either Bill Gates is turning into Tony Stark himself, but instead of running the Iron Man suit, he's like training Spider-Man.
Yeah, he'll be the old Tony that just hangs out and runs his company, but gives all of the tech to like some random kid that helps fight. So like he keeps his name good, but he's also funding this dude.
Yeah,
I'd watch this movie. I don't know.
I'd watch this movie. I'd be entertained by the real life of it.
It'd
So
be
it'd be
better
like,
than Robert Pattinson's Batman movie.
for real though.
I'm
Like,
glad we're recording this because I want that to be there when this movie ever comes out. We can go back and be like, look, he said it here. Now do the Elon Musk evil movie.
glow in the dark Batman is not gonna work for me.
Well, I was reading his things today, and he was saying that he said the previous Batman characters have struggled because they're too masculine, and he was like, Batman doesn't have to be a man's man. He doesn't have to be eating steak. He can be a vegan. He can be this and that. He's like, I'm really trying to reimagine. He's like, I'm really trying to reimagine the character, add some color, change things, set a new precedent. And I'm like, you're either going to ruin Batman or make a horrible movie. He even said he doesn't need to be dark. I was like, he's a bat. He's a bat. He's not Butterfly Man. He's a Batman. He's not Birdman. It was like, you ever seen a bat flying around during the day? It doesn't make sense.
I'd be very interested to see if like a vegan Batman, like, does he get mad at like food companies or people who eat meat?
I don't
Like,
know.
is he a social justice warrior? Like, is that his thing?
What is the like
Batman, what does he
Batman,
fight?
I don't know. Batman is the guy who flies into town with the cape, punches you in the neck, and then tells you to talk, and you're like, I can't because you punched me in the throat. and he's saying like that guy should be, more colorful, less dark, and like doesn't have to be overly masculine. And I'm like, I get what
Green Lantern.
Yeah, I was like, that's not Batman from the past 80 or 60 years or whatever it is. Like, he is dark.
They have other characters that are for that, like Green Arrow. Like, actually, he wants to be Green Arrow. That's exactly Green Arrow.
But with
but with the bat suit.
Yeah, but he doesn't want the bat suit because he's saying, I'm trying to bring some color. It's like,
he's
Bruce
the Green
Wayne,
Arrow.
If he wants to do that, he should do Bruce Wayne, can be like, bright blue suits and like be this person. But when he goes into Batman's supposed to be dark.
Thinking about this, I would want Leonardo DiCaprio to be Batman. Leonardo DiCaprio would be a dope Batman if you think about it.
I feel
Like
like he could probably do that.
he would kill Bruce Wayne. Like just
Oh
bring
yeah,
his character from
he would
Wolf of Wall
murder Bruce
Street.
Wayne.
Wolf of Wall Street, make that Bruce Wayne,
You know,
and then
if they
take
really wanted to do
Django
that,
and make that Batman.
if they really wanted to do that, because what I always liked about Batman growing up wasn't like him, beating people up and stuff. It was like the presence of Batman.
Yeah,
Like I love the scenes where like the lightning strikes and all of a sudden there's like a shadow over you and you're like, what? And you panic and you look around and he's gone. And then like you turn back with your flashlight and he's right in front of you. Like that's cool because I'm like, dang, that's a cool Batman. Like he's just so gangster. He doesn't even have to like show up. He doesn't even have to run up on you. Like he's just there. Like there's nothing you can do about it. But like, that like the old Jaws movie where you never really saw the shark and it was almost more like intimidating. Because you never really saw it. Like you knew it was there. Like that is cool with Batman because like
it was more psychological.
Yeah, because you're afraid of him because he's dark.
But I think the other thing was like
cheery.
Batman is like extremely smart, but like he kind of uses violence one time. Like he doesn't use violence all the time. Like he more uses like your fear of violence more than he uses violence. Like violence is I have to do this to you because you're running away. But after a little bit of time, you're like, Batman showed up. I know he could break my neck. I'm just gonna start talking.
Yeah, because he's more intimidating.
Yeah.
And you're afraid because you've heard these like legends and rumors, and then the next time like lightning strikes and there's a shadow over you. My bad, did I cut out?
No, you're good.
Okay. But like lightning strikes and there's a bat-shaped shadow over you, like you're shook immediately. So it's like, nah, like you're not gonna win in that scenario because he's like a ninja almost. And it's like, other than the bad guy from G.I. Joe, ninjas wear black.
Oh, what is his name? It's not
His name
Snake
was no,
Snake
that was
Eyes
the good guy.
That was the good guy.
Oh man, no, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh man, you're gonna make me have to. I have to know now.
I know his name too. This is the worst thing. I can't remember.
Like I know it, but then you put me on the spot.
Yeah, that's
Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow, which makes no sense.
He has the coolest name too.
He has a cool name, but he never wins because he's a bad guy in a kid's cartoon.
Nah, but what I was gonna say, real quick, and then we'll kind of wrap that. But who do you think would win? Vegan Batman. I'm gonna call him Vegan Batman now.
All right, vegan. Even though bats aren't vegan, but all right, let's go with that.
I mean, no, they're not. They eat bugs.
They eat bugs at minimum.
Yeah. All right. Now you got fruit bats. Fruit bats eat fruit.
Okay. So he's one of those big
fruit Batman
bats from Australia.
All right. So we're gonna call him Vegan Batman.
Okay.
Right. Vegan Batman versus Jared Leto Joker. Who you taking? Because that's that's exactly who he would be fighting.
I'm taking.
He'd be fighting Jared Leto Joker versus Vegan Batman.
Jared Leto Joker at least had guns and stuff. Like
Batman never did guns. Batman was never a gun user.
Yeah, he doesn't use guns, and that's like his thing. And like that because he's intimidating. He doesn't need guns.
Yeah. But I mean, like, can you imagine like the moment that Jared Leto Joker found out that Batman was a vegan? Can you imagine like all the jokes?
Him,
he would give him
would
such
ruin
a hard
his
time.
whole life. Everywhere he would go, it would just be like, it'd be like he would like it would. You know what would happen? It'd be like that movie Carrie. He would like pour animal blood on him.
Yeah,
and he would freak out
and just make him mad.
Yeah,
but then like that's the other part. Could because he's talking about like not wanting to lift weights and bulk up and everything like that.
Yeah,
So then
Batman's huge. Like,
so then you
what?
would have a skinny Batman angry. Like, are
What's he
you
gonna do?
afraid of
No.
skinny Batman?
No, you know why? Because he's wearing a bright colored suit, and I can see him
Right,
standing.
guys.
Look, it's raining. Let's say it's raining. You look outside the window. There's a man across the street. You're like, wait, what? You look back. You look across the street. He's gone. You're like, whoa, that was weird. I should be on guard. You look out the window. There's a man out there in a bright yellow suit standing in the rain, and it's just pouring on him. You're like, should we invite him in? Like, does he need help? Like, what's wrong with him? You know
Toss
what?
him a couple of dollars.
Yeah, like, hey, dude, you good? Like, you good out there? Like, you having a hard day? Are you shooting a music video? Where's Usher? Like, that's what I would think. Because that's not intimidating. I don't.
No,
I feel like I feel like he doesn't know the character. Like, I think he wants to do his own spin, which is fine, but you still gotta know the character that you're playing.
or still like be within bounds. Because like even what is it when what's his name, Heath Ledger, when he was being the Joker, like everybody was against Heath Ledger being the Joker, and he's probably the best Joker, like live action Joker,
Not even
the
gonna
best
argue.
one. But and then I would probably put Joaquin Phoenix as second.
He killed that movie too, and did
Right.
a very different Joker.
But they
But
stayed
still,
within the character's
yeah,
narrative, not narrative,
yeah,
characters, like I guess how you would identify them, like because they're twisted and they're dark and they see things differently, and they act on those impulses differently.
hmm
But at the end of the day, you could still make an argument that's who Joker would be.
yep,
However, like anytime you would draw a picture of Batman, you have to draw him as being an intimidating figure, because
yep,
that's how he's the world's greatest detective, and he's also intimidating.
exactly.
Like I look at it as like if you're not intimidating, you're pretty much just a police officer at that point.
Not even.
And he
They
because
have guns.
Batman's supposed to do what the police can't do, which is beat up the bad guys that won't talk.
Yep.
So I think that would kind of ruin it a little bit for me.
I don't know what he's gonna do. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but no, we gotta move on. We hung out with Batman for too long, but I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Now, at first I was calling him Vampire Batman, but
Now
now
it's
that I
vegan
know
Batman.
now it's Vegan Batman, that's gonna stick every single time I hear it.
Yeah, it's like being vegan is fine, but the fact that he wants to be bright and not dark, he wants to be less masculine and intimidating is like it's not a bad thing. It's just that's not who that character is.
No, like any other character that would be perfect for. Again,
Yeah,
he should definitely be Green Arrow. He would
I think
make
he
the
just
best movie Green Arrow.
I think he just might have been cast wrong.
We'll see. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely gonna
we'll
have to
see.
come back and run that one back and look at it over some time. But all right, I guess since we had the lighter side and we wanted some darkness, I guess we could talk about some darkness real quick,
All right.
which is the Ahmad Aubrey case, which is becoming crazier and crazier and crazier as I learned more about it. It was interesting because like the first time I ever heard of it, I just saw his pictures all over Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and things like that. And I didn't know the story. I was like a black guy got shot by some white guys and the white guys got away. I was like, oh,
hmm
okay, this is normal America. This happens.
Yeah,
And then I
it's
kind
just
of
crazy that it was like here's a viral video, which happens, and then it was like, wait a minute, nothing happened to these people? That's weird. And then that made that video be shared more.
yeah.
And then it was like, wait a minute, because we're sharing the video, now they're gonna do something about it? Like what do you like? And then for a while I was questioning, like, how did we get the video?
Yeah.
And then it was their friend who he was in on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just got worse.
Yeah, and then like the video of him like I guess looking at a house that was in under construction and everything like that, and like
Hmm.
them saying that like he was like unlawfully there on someone else's property and things like that, and I'm looking to see what he could steal. And I was like, that's an assumption. I mean,
Not only is that an assumption, I went to the house we're building yesterday, and while we were driving into the neighborhood to get to the house, there's like older couple that lives in that neighborhood. They were walking in and out of every house that's under construction.
yeah,
Like if it doesn't have a door on it, they go in.
yeah.
So I'm like, that's normal. That's normal behavior from
I was like, at the
anybody.
very least, I was like, it's curiosity because I'm like, I can understand like he goes into a house that's fully furnished, right? Is in
Hmm.
there. Someone sees him. He runs out of the house and everything like that, right? Because he's like trying to steal something, right?
Hmm.
We'll say that. But for me, it was odd because I was like, he goes in, he's looking in a house. It's not abandoned. It's under construction and everything like that. It's obviously like the pictures they have now is obviously not what it was, or else like he had to have broken something to get into it. And then on top
No,
of that, there were like security cameras inside the house that just saw him like looking around at like the open door frames and things like that. I was like, all right, cool. He shouldn't be there because I guess that's somebody's property. But it's not like he was trying to like. I look at it this way: if I want to steal something, I'm not going to the house that has nothing in it.
well, yeah. The thought is like, oh, he's trying to steal like tools or something, and it's like you don't steal tools when you're walking. They're heavy. Like, what
Yeah,
are you gonna do? Grab a whole toolbox and run down the street with it? You'd be like, you'd be jangling, you'd be dropping stuff. Like I was
yeah,
like, there's nothing about that that seemed like that was a valid story. And yeah, like I mean, it could have been as simple as like, I wonder how they built that. Like,
I think it was like curiosity definitely like I guess had to play some type of role. But then for me, then I was like, I look and you see him like running, and then he runs one way. He sees a guy with a shotgun. He runs around and he tries to take the shotgun. In my head, I'm
mm,
like, that makes sense to me because
that's
I'm like,
normal reaction. Yeah, like
that's my
it's
reaction.
not
I was like,
weird.
because it's like they're already yelling at me, they're already screaming at me. I don't know what they're screaming at me to do. They're not police officers, right? I imagine
Yeah,
like
just two random dudes.
I am like 98% positive, and I could be wrong, but I'm like, had there been like red and blues behind him, he would have just pulled over and stopped,
Yeah,
answered questions, right? Red and blues.
yeah.
The other
At
thing, I was
at
like,
least he would, at minimum you would at least stop because you're like, well, if I keep running, I look bad.
yeah. I say this, and then it reminds me of a story that happened to me like a while ago. But so like he runs around, comes back, and like in my head, I'm thinking like, so if I'm running and I dodge around the other side of a car, I think my first thought process is like get away as fast as possible. But then my
Hmm.
second survival instinct is, well, if I run and my back is to them, they can shoot me in the back. So the logical solution is to try and at least take the gun, if not shoot them, threaten them, hey, get away from me, leave me alone, or throw the gun away and run away, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's the
that,
bare minimum fight or flight response is
yeah,
some people run, some people try and defend themselves, but like if there's multiple people, the logical step is like I can't fight everybody. I have to escape. So like if I can, at least knock this out of his hand at minimum, I can at least run. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird because I'm like, that's normal behavior, but at the same time, like it's messed up that like a group of us can't do normal human behavior without
it's
being looked at differently.
it reminds me like so like the two guys that chased them, like the father and son, like they saw something weird and crazy happening, and they chased them, but then they didn't call the police while they were chasing them. I was like, that was odd to me. And the reason why it was odd because like the craziest story happened to me like this like way back in the day, like probably shoot 8, 9 years ago when I lived in Lawton. So me and my buddy, he had just came back from Afghanistan, and we were hanging out in his truck, and we were driving home. He was getting ready to go drop me off, and there was this girl in the car next to us, and there was a truck behind her, and they were like honking at her and everything like that. And so then she like darts off, like from a red stoplight, just darts off, and the truck behind her darts off after her. I was like, oh, that's odd. So she weaves into like a housing complex, and so we were like, oh, that's crazy. And then she jumps out in front of us. We're like, oh crap, what's going on? And then the truck jumps out in front of us too, trying to chase her. So my buddy, being Captain America, chases them in the in the truck. I was like Mitch, what are you doing? He was like, bro, that girl's in trouble. We have to go help her. I'm like, no, Mitch, we don't have to help her. Let's call the police.
What are you talking about?
Like, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy. This doesn't involve us. I was like, I don't know what's going on there. He was like, no, I'm chasing. I was like, I'm calling the cops. So literally, so we're in. I don't know if you've ever been to Lawton, but like there's a main
one time.
There's a Cash Road, not Cash Road. Yeah, Cash Road in Lawton, and then there's like two other streets down. There's a main intersection, but it just kind of it turns into Duncan, like you're heading towards Duncan at a point.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the road we were heading down. And so, but we're still driving through the city. The girl had to at least be going 80. The car behind her going 80. Mitch is going 85, 90, trying to catch up to him. I'm sitting in the passenger seat like I am about to die trying to save someone else. So I'm calling the cops while we're driving. I'm like, hey, like this is what's going on. Like, there's a girl we don't know being chased by a car we don't know, and my buddy, who I don't know anymore, is chasing after him.
I just happen to be in this car. I don't know. He said he was an Uber.
I was like, this is the direction we're heading down. This is where we're going. This is what we see, right? The dispatcher goes, stop chasing them. I was like, that's what I'm trying to tell him, but he is not listening. The dispatcher goes, you don't know what they have, who they are, what's going on. Just tell us the direction. And at this point, like, she pulls into another neighborhood, and like Mitch pulls into another neighborhood. And so Mitch like flags her and tells her to go to a gas station that was close by. And so she pulls over into the gas station. We pull into the gas station behind her. The police show up finally, like after like we tell them like where we're at and what we're doing. And so, and then the car that was chasing her sees the police officers and like drives off. All that to be said, I called the police while this was going on, driving down the street at 90 miles an hour. I was terrified, and I was like, Mitch, I can't do this.
I'm not ready to get out here and fight. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. Yeah, like I don't know what the plan is here, but we didn't come prepared for this today.
Yeah. And then at the end, like the girl was crying. We called her dad and everything like that. The dad showed up and she was grateful. I did not feel relieved. I felt panicked because I'm like, we almost died today. I was like, anything could have happened. Our truck could have flipped. We could have actually ran into the guys who were doing damage. I was like, I am not a fighter. I'm 5'8", at the time, 152 pounds soaking wet. Like, I'm not saving anybody. That's not a natural response. So I'm just saying, like, if you're chasing someone, why didn't you call the police at the very least to let them know, like, hey, this is what craziness is going on. I'm in pursuit.
Well,
hit me up when you get here.
Unless, let's just say they had their keys in their pocket and guns in front of them. They're just sitting there for some reason. It still took them a minute to grab them and jump in the car. and okay, let's say they back into their driveway every day. I don't know why you would do that, but you do.
I back into my driveway
every day.
Yeah, just about every day.
All right. So you're a third of the way prepared.
I am the third of the way prepared.
In your garage, you're already outside to see it. Have your keys on you. Have guns on you. Have your car ready to go. So as soon as you see it, in the car, gone. like it still took you a minute, and that's what I don't get. As I'm like, at no point did it come across their head like we should do something different.
No, because like, and I think there's something to be said about like, because one of the guys used to be a police officer, right? So he's used to that type of action. At the very least, he's been trained for that action, just like my buddy Mitch. Like he came back from Afghanistan, so he was like, hey, I've been trained for this war and to fight and everything like that. So
he was still there. He was
was
still over there. You
right.
were like, I'm a civilian. He was like, nah, we're over there now. He was calling out his latitude and longitude coordinates. You were like, who are you talking to?
Like he was hitting me with the call signs and everything like that. He was ready to rock, and I was like, let me out of the truck. Let me out of the truck. I'm not Superman. I am the civilian that's looking out of the window, calling the police. Like, hey, there's 3 suspicious people out here.
That's the other thing, though, is your friend who was in the military came back and had that mindset. People within the states who don't feel like we're at war, in imminent danger at 24/7, who are trained to handle those scenarios, should be just really the ideal police officer should just be really good at making decisions. He should be really good at being, or they, he, she, whoever it is, should be really good at saying like, hey, this is not the best course of action. But like,
I don't know.
it.
I'm definitely, I wouldn't say seeing both sides. I definitely think that, like, I don't think he should be dead at all. I think that like once adrenaline gets going, and then I wish they did like a blood tox to see like had those guys been out drinking too. Not saying that played a factor, but I'm just saying more in the sense of it kind of slowed some of the critical thinking side of it.
I mean, I'll give you that, but I think that even like when you're inebriated or high or whatever you want to say, it's like you kind of act on gut responses. They thought what they were doing was normal and okay. And
No,
I don't know anybody who's ever done a citizen's arrest.
that's a very interesting concept, because I'm like, I don't know how confident of a person you have to be to go and see somebody doing something bad and be like, I can overpower that person. I got this. I'm arresting him.
Yeah. I mean, even if you just have 2 or 3 guys with you, or you guys have guns and you're like, I won't shoot him, but I'm going to use this as a tool to, show him like he needs to respond to me, and you do everything right, I still don't know if I'm going to citizen arrest anybody. Like, oh, you know what? No, that's all right.
I think it's also like I guess probably how we were raised too. Because like for me, like growing up, my encounters and my training, I was taught like avoid the police if you can.
Yeah, like you don't want to be in the spotlight for no reason.
Yeah, you don't want to be a spotlight. You don't want to be like, I guess you don't want to give them a reason to question you or ask you anything, or give them a reason to look at you weird. Like you just, if you can avoid encountering them, avoid encountering them. Like it's kind of how it. And so I think that's part of it for us too, is that like we have that avoidance. Like, hey, I don't really need you. This doesn't involve me right now. I'm just gonna stay away. But I wonder if that is different for other people who's never had a negative experience with police officers and things like that, who just see them as like, hey, this is their job. Let me get them involved in this job.
I would assume so. Yeah, I don't know what that's like.
I don't know. I can't bring my mind to it. I will say though, I'm not gonna discount people who carry guns though for protection. For like, I don't know if you remember, I think it was like a year ago. There was that shooting that happened at the lake that one time.
The mall?
No, not the mall.
At the lake.
At the restaurant at the lake. And there was like one guy who was carrying a gun who had been trained who actually took him out and everything like that, and like saved some people's lives. I was like, I think it was the first example of finally over years of people saying like the best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Yeah, there's been a handful, but honestly, because this is something we talked about when I was in college, the percentage of times where the good guy helps
It's
is
very
like
low.
it's astronomically low.
But what if that good guy was a vegan?
And then he was Batman.
And he was Batman and with brightly colored clothes.
So he jumped. He instead of Bruce Wayne's parents dying, Bruce had a gun, shot Joe Chill, killed him, and then just grew up vegan. But then saw that he could stop crime, so he still became Batman. But he wasn't sad. He wasn't dark.
Yes. Twist.
All right, so we just ruined his whole origin story. That's what we're doing, Robert Pattinson.
We changed the entire Batman origin story.
Can you imagine the movie starts and it's like him and he's got the cowl on, covering his eyes and stuff. He's got the cowl on. He hangs it up in the Batcave. He hits an elevator. He puts on a suit and it opens and his parents are sitting there and he's like, "Hey, Mom and Dad. I'm glad you could come to dinner tonight." And you're just like, what? Oh boy, I've never walked out of a movie theater, but I will go to the front desk so quick and be like, "You told me this was Batman. You told me this was Batman. Not only do I want a refund, I'm gonna go finish the movie. Rewind it so I can watch that nonsense again, and I want my money back. I'm making your whole day inconvenient."
No, I think that was the case. It was Batman, good guy with the gun, took out Joe Chill, that would be bruh. You know how many demographics you would hit with that one? Not demographics. That's not the right word. How many? I guess political lines you would hit with that? Because
you would tear vegans, like fandom apart though.
Most vegans are Democratic, but then like I'm saying most, I'm not generalizing all. Like most vegans tend to lean towards the Democratic side. Yeah, most gun, I wouldn't say enthusiasts, but people who are more partial to gun tend to lean more to the Republican side. So you would have a vegan who would more than likely be a Democrat who used guns.
Rich. His parents were rich and involved with the mafia, so we'll say that they're
rich.
Probably right-leaning, most likely.
They're rich Democrats.
Yeah. But
I mean, technically speaking, anybody that's in politics is rich. Like,
true.
There are very few, and I'm talking like politics in the form of like senators, governors, mayors, and congressmen. A good chunk of them have at least $1 million on hand.
So this is what we're saying. Batman goes to the movie theater, or Bruce Wayne goes to the movie theater as a little kid with his parents. They go outside, and instead of Joe Chill shooting his parents, either him or another guy, good guy, sees him, shoots Joe Chill, gets awarded something, and the city never falls into chaos because there wasn't a shooting of a major public figure right then.
Possible.
Bruce Wayne sees this, isn't sad, but sees the positives of preventing crime.
Yes.
So still becomes Batman, but isn't dark and intimidating.
Correct.
He just fights crime because he's just the good Samaritan. He just actually goes to public places and he's just ready to stop bad guys.
But he makes too much money to be on the police force.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't trust him
no, he has better tech
and better means.
So he's just like the good Samaritan with all the surveillance equipment in the world, so he can stop crimes before the police officers can. But he's not depressed about it because his parents didn't die.
Correct.
This is the worst Batman I've ever heard. The worst.
I don't know. I can't say I would pay money to see it, but if someone paid money for me to go see it,
It's not even a good character arc, man.
You
Like,
would have to think so, but like the villain,
he would have no conflict as a person.
he would have conflict. He would have
What?
conflict because he
What would his
still wouldn't want to
conflict be?
kill. He wouldn't want to
No,
kill.
no, he saw the guy die, and he was like, "Man, you know what? If I can stop a bad guy, then we're good."
So then, would he become the
conflict.
villain?
No, because he's the good Samaritan.
But he would still create villains.
That's the other thing. No, that's the other thing. The cops, and the city government wouldn't think he was a vigilante.
They would just think he was a murderer.
No, they would think he was the good Samaritan who was like masked because he only stopped people like in public places, like at Louis. That guy, they were like, "Oh, what a good guy! Like he was out there, he was prepared." But really, because he was Batman, he knew, because he's also the greatest detective, so he knew beforehand where to be,
where the crime was going to be at.
Yeah, there's literally no conflict to this character.
There's got to be someone who knows.
The cops would love him. The politicians would love him. His parents are still alive. He's using all this tech, and he's just stopping random crimes.
The mafia would still be mad. Like, they would draw lines.
The mafia would be mad, but they're villains. That's the problem. Is the mafia is a villain. Batman is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And the cops and stuff are supposedly good. But if Batman was just a guy who was obviously doing what everybody thought was good, nobody would care. Especially because Batman will like break into the mob's house and beat him up for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm saying he waited until the day they were gonna commit a crime and just was there ahead of time and foiled it in public. Okay. Like not even secretively. Like he wore a mask.
Not even at night.
No. During the day, like they went to rob a bank, but he knew they were gonna rob the bank. So he went to the bank first. And when they got there, he told the security guards what was gonna happen. So they were just prepared. This would be so whack.
That's whack. That's not even Batman at that point. That's just a really great detective movie.
He still wears a mask.
Would you take that guy seriously though?
Yeah, because he's already prevented thousands in this.
Well, I'm saying
Gotham is horrible.
There's always got to be a first time, right?
The first time it didn't work. See, and people died, and then he was like, "I told you, I'll see you again," and then he flew away. And then the next time, he went to you again. He met Commissioner Gordon on top of the building, and he was like, "There's going to be a crime tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'll see you there at 1:30. Here's the address." You'd be like, "What? Like, just be there. Bring this exact amount of people. Bring all this stuff. We'll be ready." And then the bad guys got there at 2:00, and they were just like, "What? No, we were foiled." And then they get arrested by the police, and they go to prison. And then they're just like, "Thanks, man in a mask, for giving us an anonymous tip." Be the worst superhero.
I feel like with writing, there's a way to make that work.
Superhero. It would never work. He only wears a mask because he doesn't want his parents to know it's him. That's it. So there's his conflict. No, that's what it is. It's a comedy.
It's a comedy at that point.
He's trying to not get caught. So like his parents are old and they're like at his house, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for coming to dinner." And they're like, "Hey, what's this cape?" And he's like, "Oh, that's not a cape. It's a tablecloth." And he like lays it down for dinner, and they eat on the bat cape. And then he's like, and then the next scene where he's at the bank robbery, there's like a spaghetti stain on it, because like his mom dropped spaghetti on it. He's like, "You got some spaghetti on your cape there," and he's like, "I know," but he's got the voice, so he's like, "I know." He's so
I feel like we just mixed Spider-Man and Batman together.
Whatever. Spider-Man's way cooler than Batman in this movie sense. Spider-Man's way cooler.
I don't know. We'll see. If that's what's gonna happen, I need it. If that happened, I got to come up with a new name. Vegan Batman won't work anymore.
No,
or it might work.
He's like pre-Batman.
Pre-Batman.
He knows the crime before it happens, and he just goes and tells you. That's it. You know who he is? He's Randall from Recess.
Ah, he knows everything.
But as a good guy.
Randall was kind of good. He was just misunderstood.
No, because Randall was doing stuff
Randall
like
was a snitch.
spitefully because he didn't have any friends. I'm saying
Yeah.
like he's really popular and he knows like this is actively a bad thing. So I'm just gonna go tell the teachers before it happens.
Yeah.
That's
makes
Robert
sense.
Pattinson's Batman. That's him.
That movie can't come out fast enough. Now, like we have to have this and then put it side by side to the plot of the movie. And if this happened,
We'll go step by step.
we're gonna go step by step. But that's our time for right now.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Battery's getting low anyway.
No, it's good. There's way more we wanted to talk about, but I think that's great because it gives us somewhat to talk about next time. But hey, fam, thanks for tuning in. Just keep in mind, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We have new casts coming out weekly, new content coming out to you as well. Stay tuned. Later, fam.